crew of the Cyclops. Semper Fortis, brothers. No matter how much of this I chug down, the visions always return. The door won't budge.
Finally, you're awake. Gotta tell you, though, mister, you want to stay on here, you stop making all that noise.
Noise? What noise are you talking about?
I expect my guests to be respectable. Moans, chanting, all that kind of thing. It stops, all right?
Got any proof it was me? It could have been one of my neighbors. I slept like a rock. I didn't hear a thing.
That's exactly what a newcomer would say. Your neighbors are respectable people and would never do such a thing. Don't think your yellow-clad patron means you get away with everything.
You're not exactly friendly with your guests. Are we the ones keeping you in business?
All these newcomers after the flood, they're stark raving mad.
What do you mean?
You can't imagine the crazy notes and books I find after they move out. Only thing they're good for is lighting the kitchen stove.
Can I have a look?
I knew it. I tell you, no one sane would be interested. And you want to take a look? Well, fine. Take what you wish.
I'm not in the mood for chit-chat, Mr. Reed.
Door won't budge.
Extra, extra. All the news that's fit for print.
Hello?
Hello. Welcome to Oakmont University Library. Joy Hayden. Can I help?
Charles Reed, private investigator. I apologize for my bluntness, but can I ask you a question?
Mouth?
Yeah.
Punishment. Long story.
Again, sorry for me being so direct, but that can't be legal, can it? This looks like... it looks like torture.
Legal in Oakmont. Local custom.
Huh. I need to see your book catalogs.
Sure. Over there.
And that's it? No payment, no threatening, no favors in return?
No. Library public. Knowledge for everyone. Welcome.
Well, that's music to my, eyes. This city doesn't look like it has much need for books, except as fuel for fires. How come the library's in such good shape?
Mr. Throgmorton. Funds. Keeps everything in check.
Really? Huh. I wouldn't have thought that of him. I wonder why.
He says people need hope, entertainment, escapism. Now more than ever, can't imagine library without his help.
Guess I don't need the key. Are a few damp papers all that's left of the expedition? Are a few damp papers all that's left of the expedition? Samples glitter in a weird way. I wonder where they came from. Can't say I ever saw another shell like it.
Drop the papers. Smash the rest.
We don't have time to picket. Stand back. I fatah me fe I regach I dagon.
Burn it all. Make sure you get the adverts.
Time to figure this out.
Burn it all. Make sure you get the adverts.
We don't have time to picket. Stand back.
Drop the papers. Smash the rest.
I fatah me fe I regach I dagon.
Burn it all. Make sure you get the adverts.
Several men broke into the expedition headquarters. What they didn't smash, they burned. The archives, even the newspapers. Hello, officer.
Well, look who finally decided to show up. If it ain't Charles Reed, the genius that cracked the case of Albert Throgmorton. Captain Caleb Lyons at your service. What can we simpletons do to assist you, Mr. Holmes?
Do you and I have a problem, officer?
No. Aside from making everyone in the Oakmont Police Department look like idiots, let me be frank, newcomer. You ain't welcome. You slip up, don't cross a T or dot an I, and I'll treat you like every other criminal here.
Okay. Well, can I use the police archive in the meantime?
You can, but only because of Mr. Throgmorton's patronage. And heed me well, you're on mighty thin ice, and I'll be under it when it breaks.
The old papers are by the door. Take them and stop bothering me already.
I think you've got me confused with someone else.
Aren't you a newcomer?
Yeah, I guess I am a newcomer. Charles Reed, private investigator. And I also need your old newspapers, the archive, to be exact.
Ah, so you're the one who cracked the Albert Throgmorton murder case. Nice work. I'm Helen Bland. Say, can you do me a favor? Give me an exclusive interview. You won't regret it. The Oakmont Chronicle is the best newspaper for miles around.
I got some time now, if you're ready.
Oh, absolutely. We know that you're the private eye who solved the case, but tell our reader something more about yourself.
I'm a private eye in Boston. The situation in the port was a good use of my skills.
Well, Detective Reed, I think you'll find our city has a lot of secrets, but people may not like you poking your nose in. Maybe we'll have the chance to work together later. Who knows? And now the big question. Why are you here? What brought you to Oakmont?
I've been investigating disappearances all around Massachusetts. The missing people all seem to have ended up here for some reason.
The mystery of the newcomers. And you want to know why they're here? Well, they aren't very forthcoming about it. And it doesn't help that most of them aren't thinking straight, to put it mildly. I think that's enough for now. I can't give the readers too much all at once. Thank you for your interview, Mr. Reed.
My pleasure. Maybe I'll do something interesting enough to make the papers again. You never know. See you later.
newcomers. Beware, these currents are smashed.
Pancake. At last. Hey, help. Help.
What's going on?
Sea creatures. Swarmed over the piers. I hid here, but these walls won't stand up to them. Please help me.
What creatures? What are you talking about?
Wild beasts. They came to feast on the blood. They're eating the dead.
I'm looking for Captain Sanders. Is he here in the port? Did the creatures get him?
I saw Sanders. Help me. I'll tell you what I know.
I've dealt with the creatures. Now, tell me about Sanders.
He got back several hours ago. Those things, they came because of him.
This Sanders, what kind of man is he?
Newcomer. Seemed like a decent guy. Okay, Captain. Treated his crew well.
I gotta find Sanders. Where is he?
Saw him get away. Just after the shooting. Ran for the pier. Didn't see where he went after that.
Did you see anyone else from the expedition?
No. Only Sanders. I'd bet my life no one else made it back.
Shot dead. Point blank. emptied every chamber. Still stinks of burnt powder. Gotta be out of your head to do this to a man. The monster sure didn't leave behind much. They were in high spirits. Plenty of them were drinking. This would be a weird artifact in any collection. Cape Cod. There were marks here, but they've been erased.
Drink. All we've seen. And you telling me we ain't allowed rum?
To the mayor with you! Die! Die! You can't take me! Eat this!
Let's get a handle on what actually happened here.
You can't take me! Eat this!
For whatever reason, the crew went berserk. Only one man got away.
The mayor's cursed these days.
You're the man who handled the problems in the port. Seem like a sharp sleuth. Want to make something on the side?
You pay, I work. What's the job?
Ah, a fellow businessman. I'm Vincent, but you can call me Vince. First task is to find the ship's log for the Pride.
Charles Reed. A few questions, if I may.
Sure.
Why are you looking for a ship log?
Maybe I'll tell you when the job is done. Right now, you don't need to know.
In my line of work, you don't get far without appreciating the need for privacy. I understand. What can you tell me about the Pride? I'm gonna need somewhere to start.
Mostly rumors. The captain was an exemplary patriot. Always had a flag with him. His last shipment may have been chemicals in metal barrels.
It could be resting on the seabed 1,000 miles away. What makes you think it can be found?
I wouldn't waste my money on you unless I had hope. Local drunkards say they saw the barge on the sunken road near the fish market.
Good. I'll check the place and bring you the Pride's ship log if it's still there. See you later.
Get off my ship, you newcomer rat!
I wonder what happened to the chemicals. Good news. I got the ship log of the Pride safe and sound.
Let me see. Yes. The last page is exactly what I need. Good job, Reed.
I expect the pay to be just as good.
Sure. Take this. And I have 2 more tasks for a man as capable as you are.
Find more ships. I wouldn't pass up the extra dollars or bullets.
These next ones won't be so easy. But you showed yourself a capable and trustworthy man. So prepare your guns. It might get hot. I've bought 2 more ships, Red Queen and Skylark. Both are troublesome.
Well, where do you think the Skylark flies?
I only have a guess. You see, it was no ordinary ship. Cargo on it? Well, it was under prohibition, if you know what I mean.
You think the smugglers got it?
I saw a box with the ship's name. Some hobo was burning it for warmth. For a bullet, he told me he found it near the old Wharf Street harbor.
Red Queen. Sounds nice. What happened to Her Majesty?
You won't say that when you see it. It crashed near the asylum, and, something happened to it. Made me shiver, even when I saw it from afar.
I'll get started, Vince. Soon the logs will be yours.
I'll be waiting here. We newcomers should stick together around these parts.
door won't budge. Someone unloaded the Skylark's cargo. Maybe they took the log as well. Here's the log from the Skylark. The men who unloaded it were not happy to see me.
Unloaded? You mean the cargo survived the storm?
There were crates and armed men on guard. Looked like a local gang. I dealt with them, but it's not worth trying to claim your property.
But all that cargo, a small fortune. Perhaps you're right. It's better to be poor than dead.
A wise decision. Here's the ship log from the Red Queen. I'd suggest it's best not to read it.
That bad? Well, I only need the last page. Is it intact?
Yep, all the pages are there.
Great. Here's the reward I promised, Mr. Reed.
Now that you have all the ship's logs at your disposal, perhaps you can explain the reason. Why did you collect them?
I suppose you've earned my trust. While drinking at the local tavern, I concocted a brilliant business plan.
Well, we all know that booze only produces great ideas. What's the plan?
I spent some bullets buying several lost ships from their owners. The dates in our treaties were slightly wrong, but who here could verify?
But now it sounds like you're wasting good beer money.
Wrong, friend. With these logs, I'll receive a handsome sum in insurance when I return to Boston. The companies will have no reason to refuse.
Not a bad insurance racket, Vince. A man like you could go far.
I always keep an eye out for opportunities. Meet me in Boston, and the first round's on me. Good luck, friend.
See you later.
Patient or visitor? Hold on. Let Dr. Grant guess.
A visitor. Though you are a bit pale, you don't have a headache, do you?
The usual. Nothing to write home about.
Ah, a chronic headache sufferer. Fascinating. By coincidence, I was studying helminths and their role in illness before the flood. Did you know that all of us are infected by helminth? Your headaches could indicate that they have infested your brain.
That's news to me, Doc. Sounds serious.
May I suggest you become a subject in my experimental medical program?
Experimental medicine. Well, I guess it can't be any worse than the asylum in Boston. Count me in.
I'm delighted to hear that, Mr.
Reed. Charles Reed.
Mr. Reed, Take these pills with some water. They're a potent measure against parasites. Contact me when you feel improvement.
What happened to you, Mr.?
Pete, explosion. Fishing with dynamite. Hurts talking.
Fishing with dynamite, huh? You sure it wasn't from a fight in port? Maybe on a ship?
I'm sure. Oh, please, leave.
Oh, my stomach. I ain't never eaten leeches ever again, no sir.
Yeesh. What happened to your shoulder?
Some psycho in a bar brawl. Gun came out, he clipped me good in the shoulder. Something I can help you with?
I'm just looking for someone. Captain Sanders.
Captain Sanders? Never heard of him. I'm Joseph Willow. You should probably look somewhere else.
That's funny. The records say you were admitted for an axe wound, just like a certain Captain Sanders got in the port massacre. Spill.
Oh, to the depths with it. Who sent you?
I'm asking the questions here, pal.
Yeah, well, first tell me who you are.
Charles Reed. I'm a newcomer. I'm looking for the source of the Oakmont visions.
We had them, my crew and I. And during the expedition, the dreams. You can't understand, Mr. Reed. You weren't there.
I think it'd be an understatement to say your expedition met with disaster.
There are things that should never be found, Mr. Reed. I only wish I'd known that then. Maybe they'd still be alive. The scientists, my crew, none of them deserved what happened to them.
Tell me what happened on the last dive.
We had a system. The divers go down, then come up at a prearranged time. But not one surfaced that day. In the end, I sent a team to check. They returned with Albert, but all were half mad with fear.
Did you know Albert Throgmorton made it to shore?
Albert survived? Is he here?
No. He didn't make it. He's dead as the rest. Murdered in the port. But what about the others?
I don't know. My crew left them down there, underwater. I ordered a rescue attempt, but they threatened mutiny.
What were you looking for underwater?
The cause of all this. The stones, the flood, the monsters. The scientists found cracks on the seabed. They were working on some theory of how it connected to the madness.
The ocean floor splits open, and that means hysteria on land. Really?
We spent days over the cracks. We heard things. Saw things looking back at us.
You've got a good reason for leaving the expedition to die, right?
You weren't there. Day after day on that ship, it was a horror, Mr. Reed. We saw things. Not one of us dared sleep. It was an expedition into cursed waters, mark my words.
I was on the Titania before I came here. It seems you were all hitting the bottle pretty hard. Why?
To stop them from rioting. To save them from despair. After those dives, anyone would turn to drink.
So, the diving did a number on your crew. But what happened in the port?
I don't know. They were calm until we docked, and then they lost it. And many good men lost their lives.
Could you take me out to where the last dive took place?
No. You can't follow them, Mr. Reed. It's suicide. Worse than suicide.
I'm a Navy diver, Captain. And with all due respect, I'm not afraid of boogeymen.
I don't care. I'm not taking you there. And besides, you'll never follow them without proper equipment.
Do you know where I can get a good diving suit?
My men got theirs from a local factory. If you're that bullheaded, I'll write down the address.
Where's the logbook from the Titania?
I had it with me, but I was all out of it by the time I got here. I remember the surgery ward. When I came round, my things were gone.
Get better soon. this stone isn't natural. Could it be a statue? Chemical lamps are nearly spent, but I reckon I can still follow them. Scientists didn't even take their tools with them.
Gods lean over us. Gods crawl in us. Gods who have marked me as their aphid.
The suits are all cut up. Ritual knife and a cult sign. I think I better show Mr. Throckmorton.
Sancta Mare, be our eyes, eyes to see the distant stars.
Hark, he comes! The sacred full-bellied bearer of splendor. Take me, make me, I beg you.
Bearer of what? Who are you talking to? What happened?
Our eyes. First, second, third, opened by the aura. You see much, yet do not see the splendid shell of the white virgin here sleeping.
Cut the horse crap. Give me a straight answer.
Nonsense. But it is meaning that is meaningless. Open yourself. Walk. Listen. Pray. Wake. You holy worm. Take his skin and skull for your home. Take my worship and grant your kindness. I pray you.
A perfectly preserved artifact. Was it the focus of their worship?
We enter the temple the moment they take the key seal. Get ready to cut up their diving suits. Forget them! Get the seed and the seal now!
Okay. What? It's shivering. No! Get away from me!
I think I'm starting to get the picture.
We enter the temple the moment they take the key seal. Get ready to cut up their diving suits.
Okay. What? It's shivering.
Forget them! Get the seed and the seal now!
The expedition found an artifact that drove them mad. Then the Innsmouthers stole it and the professor in one go. ritual knife and a cult sign. I think I better show Mr. Throgmorton. I've got news, Mr. Throgmorton. The expedition members are alive. They're on the seabed, in the sunken ruins. Some sort of ancient temple. They have enough air, but we need to hurry.
What happened? Why didn't the sailors help them? The mutineers will face justice. Throwing Albert to the whims of the sea, he will be avenged.
I'm afraid that's not all. The Innsmouthers took the expedition's discoveries and kidnapped the professor.
What? Those degenerates. How did that happen?
The Innsmouthers. They knew about the temple. They waited there, hiding until the professor took what the Innsmouthers call the seal.
But how did they manage to catch my scientists off guard?
It seems that after the seal was taken from its place, Everyone in the expedition suffered some kind of mental breakdown. The Innsmouthers must have known about that, waited for the right moment. Then they made off with Professor Doe and the artifact.
Drock. The Innsmouths. Do you have proof they were involved?
One of the attackers was killed by a member of the expedition. I have a photo.
My expedition failed. My boy was killed. This is more than personal, Mr. Reed. This is a threat to everyone.
They have Harriet, and the artifact she found, but she may still be alive.
That's why I hesitate to wipe their fish-faced kin from Oakmont this instant. But we won't sit idle. Find them, Mr. Reed. Not the grunts, but their leaders. Infiltrate their ranks if need be. Bring me my professor.
I'm looking into the madness, not politics and power games.
And your best source of information is currently in the slimy hands of those Innsmouthers. Professor Doe shared the visions. She found something inside those ruins, and now they have her. She knows something crucial, I'm certain. There's also a more delicate matter I wanted to discuss with you, Mr. Reed.
I can be delicate when it matters, so shoot.
I have a colleague, you might say. His name is Herbert Glover. Like myself, he is a collector of fine art.
I'm a detective, Mr. Throgmorton, not a burglar.
I don't care for your insinuation, Mr. Reed. I would never be so crass as to hire a thief. I had a meeting arranged with Herbert. One of great importance, shall we say. One at which he failed to appear. I want you to find out why.
That sounds simple enough. Okay, I'll do it.
Very good, Mr. Reed. There is one final detail. This case must remain secret, and you must not reveal to anyone for whom you are working.
Discretion is my watchword.
Indeed. Here is Herbert's address and an advance for your investigation. You'll find it's fair.